Welcome to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders on 1240 Radio WOMT.
And good morning, Lakeshore. Welcome back to Fine Living here on 1240 Radio WOMT with Jim Reif from Jim Reif Builders. Good morning, Jim.
Morning, Terry. Morning, listeners.
How are you doing on this fine Monday?
Real well.
Excellent. Jim, today we want to talk about how does Jim Reif Builders make a difference? Because you do.
We sure try to, and I think a lot of people can testify to that we do that. So you hear of folks trying to become their own general contractors, run their project. They're going to hire an individual plumber and electrician and so on and so forth. And then there's the horror stories that come with that, trying to get the people there, trying to get all the right products there. They don't order products soon enough, and stuff doesn't arrive when you need it to, and the construction gets delayed and so on and so forth. So I thought we'd tell people a little bit about what we can do and how we make that difference.
Okay.
First of all, if you're doing a project where you're going to require to do some financing, a lot of the banks and credit unions are starting to switch where you're required to have a general contractor.
Okay.
Because they're having to protect the dollars that they're investing back into your house by loaning it to you. And they want to make sure it's done right. They make sure it wants to be done orderly. So as a general contractor, we provide a lot of help to make the project run real smooth. We're going to provide you with the detailed specifications of the project, very detailed for you, a schedule, day-to-day what's going to happen, so you know who's going to be at your house, what's going to continue on. So when is it going to be done? That's what we hear.
Right. Everybody wants to know that. When are you going to start? When are you going to be done?
Correct. So we're going to be able to give you that information. Trade contractor management. So that means I make the phone calls, the emails, whatever it needs to be to get the trade contractors, get the plumber there on time, make sure things happen, oversee his work, make sure it's quality work, so on and so forth. So it's just a lot of detail things behind the scenes that people don't realize and they don't have time to do because they're working a full-time job.
Well, and not only that, because there's so many different trade partners that are involved in a new construction project per se, and the homeowner doesn't want to have to worry about, I need to call the electrician today and then the plumber and the heating and things like that. You take care of it all.
Correct. And likewise, I hear from some of the trade contractors saying that, well, we were supposed to do this job, today by this project, but it wasn't ready because, the previous trade contractor got behind and nobody told us. So they show up and, hey, can we go to your job early now, Jim? Because we know you guys will be ready. Yep, go ahead. So we hear those those other stories back. One of the things that's really interesting behind the scenes, Terry, is that we gather a lot of information. So you got a lot of products go into your house. And like, for example, I use appliances. And a lot of different appliances have different specifications on where where the receptacle for the receptacle is supposed to be on the wall for certain refrigerators and for certain stoves and such. The amperage requirements. We get all that information. Plumbing requirements. Got to get faucet information, sink information out to the granite supplier, or the countertop people, or cabinet people, all that stuff. We take care of doing all that stuff. So we just don't act as a general contractor, sit back and then, go play tennis or head to the golf course like some people may think we do. We're actually working behind the scenes to make sure that project runs smooth, very smooth. So that, it's a lot what we do. We also provide, the meetings with the trade contractors on site, keep them organized, and also with the homeowners. Mm-hmm. Meet them on site, answer questions, go through layout information, review the process, the progress of the project. And then, one of the things that's huge, I think, is warranty after completion. We're there for you to take care of things. So, and
I also know that, Jim, you also do a lot of site management with the owners as well too, so they know what's going on.
Correct, and phone calls back and forth, meeting on the job sites, sharing emails, so they understand what we're all doing. We're going to watch for product quality control. We get all the permits for the job, so they don't have to worry about taking care of that information.
Jim, you're listening to all this stuff, and I think the first word that comes to mind is just convenience. When an individual is working with you, they can rest assured that it is convenient because Jim Reif Builders will handle it from start to finish, from permits to handing the keys over.
I think I have a better word: security, peace of mind, the security that their project's going to flow like it and go like it's supposed to, and it's going to be done properly, so they can sit back and enjoy the process.
I love it, Jim. If people want to get a hold of you, because now is a good time to start planning some projects for 2016. How can they get hold of Jim Reif Builders?
Oh, we'd love to hear from them as a phone call, 684-6899. You can email us at jimreifbuilders.com. That's our website. You can check us out at
There you go.
JimReifBuilders.com and
There you
email
go.
us through the website. And check us out on Facebook. We've got some neat opportunities,
Yes.
neat educational things
Yes.
there.
Jim, we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders, the leader in new construction and remodeling here on the Lakeshore. Let their vision enrich your lifestyle. Tune in again next week for another episode of Fine Living on 1240 Radio, WOMT. To learn more, visit JimReifBuilders.com.